Can we just take a minute to chat about all of the amazing games included in the Wholesome Direct? Hey friends, I'm Ashley and welcome to Ash's Cozy Corner. If you've never watched a Wholesome Direct, it's a showcase similar to the Nintendo Direct based around wholesome, cozy games that happens once a year. Basically, the Wholesome Direct is perfectly curated for us cozy gamers, and this year did not disappoint. I was mesmerized the entire time, and that is also probably why it's taken me a few days just to pick my favorites that were included. I finally decided on 10 favorites out of over 70 games shown off in the Direct, and that's what I want to share with you all today. I know that my 10 favorites are probably completely different than yours, so let me know your 10 favorites from the Wholesome Direct down in the comment section below. Okay, before we start, I did want to mention before anyone else mentions it that Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life would totally be on my favorites list, but it comes out in about 2 weeks and we all already knew a lot about it. That is the only reason I'm not mentioning it as one of my favorites, because it totally is. Moving on, my favorite list is actually not in numerical order, so it's not like 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. It is in alphabetical order thanks to the Wholesome Direct website. I'm glad they had it set up like that mostly, because putting these in order would be so hard because they all look so amazing. I also want to add that I will not be going into incredible detail about each game, just why it's on my favorites list. I will have a video going over every single game that was shown off in the Wholesome Direct in excruciating detail, so be on the lookout for that one soon. Starting with my favorites, let's go. Botany Manor is starting off my list, and you probably already knew that if you watched my Let's Play of the demo. Botany Manor is the plant puzzle exploration game of my dreams. I personally haven't even seen another game like it. Arabella Green's story is captivating, and the puzzles in the game are actually so compelling and fun. Just from the 30-minute demo, I was mixing up chemicals to make a flash powder so I could make a camera flash to make a plant grow. The hints it gives you are also just enough to have you still thinking hard, but not so hard you want to beat the controller against a wall. The sound effects in the game are perfectly timed and really make you feel more involved in the game as well. The only thing I could even think to mention is I wish it had more background music, but honestly, that is the least of my worries. Even before getting to play the demo, the first time I saw this game's trailer, I was instantly hooked by its beauty and plant puzzles, so it would have definitely been on my favorites list even without playing the demo. However, if you haven't got a chance to play the demo yet, I highly recommend checking it out. Bonus points, Botany Manor is coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. Fields of Mistria is next, and I actually didn't know that much about this game. I had followed them on Twitter and that's about it. However, with it being the one last thing to show off during the Wholesome Direct, I was definitely interested. It reminded me of Stardew Valley at first, which is my favorite game of all time, but then as I watched the trailer over, I feel like comparing it isn't doing it justice. I feel like this game is really unique for a farm sim. This is clearly just a feeling, as I only know so much about the game so far, but it seems like we'll get to really know the characters, and one of my favorite things I've seen so far is the magic included in the game. Also, can a game be added to my favorites list just because it has a pink cow and what looks to be a capybara in the trailer? Yes. Yes, it can. All 10 romanceable characters that they have shown look unique and all look amazing, which is not something I say very often when a game has marriageable candidates. One last thing I want to mention is that you can even swim in this game, which I think is so cool and gives the game an extra point in my book. Spoiler alert, the next 3 games on this list start with the word garden. Am I obsessed with games that include plants? Apparently so, because almost every game on this list has something to do with plants. Ready for this? Garden Buddies will be the most relaxing escape the world game that's coming out soon. I already have plenty of cozy, relaxing games, but this one looks like it will top them all on stress-free gameplay. It actually has a section of the game where you just relax and breathe. Looking more into it, I also found a description for the game that mentions more mindfulness exercises, stress reduction techniques, and emotional well-being practices. I'm definitely picking this one up for the days that I want to do nothing but relax. Garden Buddy's graphic style is also insanely cute, and I just cannot wait to create my own little colorful garden with Mutsy. Garden Life is up next, and you guessed it, It is a plant game. I'm actually sorry. Hear me out though, this one is not your typical farming sim, even though the next game I'm mentioning is a farming sim. Garden Life is really cool to me because it's first person like Botany Manor, but instead of a puzzle game, it's more a sandbox designing game. However, I guess figuring out how to grow the plants correctly would be considered light puzzles. What really got me was the absolutely stunning graphics, even though they aren't the typical cutesy graphics I always swoon over. This one seems more realistic and will definitely help me get through those winter months where everything is brown and dead outside in real life. Garden Witch Life is, of course, on my list. Even though this game has apparently been being talked about for years, I had never heard of it before now, so I'm including it on my list. I also apparently missed the play the closed beta, so I'm really sad about that. However, hopefully that means we're getting closer and closer to the release date. As soon as the trailer for Garden Witch Life started, I was hooked because gardens, of course, but also I loved seeing everything go from brown and dead to thriving and green with chickens everywhere. On top of that, you actually get to cook in this game. Like, you're really cutting stuff up with a knife. I actually squealed at how cute that was in the trailer. It's the simple things for me, honestly. At the end of the trailer, the playable character has hair colored similar to mine in space buns, so I think it's a match made in heaven for me and this game. Gourdlets is next on my list, and I know, finally a game that doesn't start with gardens. This one has been in a few of my older videos actually, and I've been excited for this one for a few months already. It's a really cute sandbox game with no objectives or goals, but these really cute villagers come to your island that are called Gourdlets. You design the island with buildings, landscaping, fences, and more, and you can even decorate the interior of the buildings. So let me just add, before the Wholesome Direct, Gourdlets was just that, a cute sandbox building game. But during the Direct, it was announced that Gourdlets will have farming included now. I promise this game would have been included on my list without farming. However, that just makes it better in my opinion. I haven't heard anyone else mention this game in their favorites list, and it actually makes me really sad because Dusty and I were cracking up the entire time. Henry Halfhead, yes, I'm 100% serious, is on my favorites list. Please tell me someone else enjoyed seeing it as much as we did. Sometimes I really just want a good laugh, and Henry Halfhead looks like it will provide just that, especially being able to play co-op with Dusty. I really feel like this unique game is going to be one of those games like Untitled Goose Game where everyone sees it and is like, oh, that's interesting. And then once it releases, it just blows up and changes the world. Yeah, that's gonna be Henry Halfhead. Loftia is next, and I'm going to be completely honest. This game is the game I'm most excited for. When they dropped the Wholesome Direct hype trailer, it included just a second of what I didn't know was Loftia, and I'd already told Dusty that I was so excited for the game just based on its 2-second cameo. After figuring out this game is going to be an MMO releasing on multiple platforms, I freaked out. I never knew I needed a cozy MMO in my life, but I'm fully on board for this one and will be supporting it 100% when the Kickstarter campaign starts soon. Everything about the game, from the server events and challenges to the endless list of customization features promised, I cannot wait to see the first of its kind as an MMO. The next to last game on this list is Petit Island. I've been a cat person my entire life. We own 5 cats, so anything with a cat as the main character, I automatically have to love. I'm also a photographer as my full-time job, so having a game I can play as a cat photographer, I mean, it's perfect. Did you see all the catamization? It's absolutely meowrific. Even the villagers are great. If you scratch their back, they scratch yours. Just seeing this trailer makes me want to go make biscuits. Okay, I'm done, I promise. But seriously, this game looks so promising and apparently has a heartwarming story, so I'm really excited for it. And last but not least, Smushi Come Home really shocked me when they shadow dropped it during the Wholesome Direct. I had been keeping an eye out on this game for months and had no idea it was that close to releasing. I've actually already purchased it and started playing, and it's as fun as it looks. It's a cute heartwarming adventure game with some light platforming and puzzles, and it's definitely one I highly recommend picking up if you're a fan of cozy adventures. That is it for my top 10 list of favorites from the Wholesome Direct 2023. Honestly, there were so many amazing games that were shown off during the Direct that it was really hard to pick my 10 favorites. I definitely want to know your top games and why you chose them. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a cozy day and God bless.